Hello everyone! So, this is the first and possibly last of my Ironman videos. More on that later. But for now, let's get into the progress. So, first, I just want to say that I started my Ironman with a live stream, and I unfortunately did not record too much during that live stream, but really all you want to get out of that is that I did the Witch's House quest, and then, yeah, that's basically all I did during the live stream. After that, went ahead and did Waterfall quest, as you see here, got my 30 attack, 30 strength, great quest to do early on. And then I figured since I was in the area, I might as well go do some agility. So I went to the gnome course, got myself to 10 agility, I believe. Yeah, it was 10 because I can then use the Draenor course, which is a lot closer, you know, not really in Africa, a lot easier to get to. So there is 5, and then I hear I'm about to get myself 10. Very nice. So Draenor Village course unlocked. Great. So, next up, want to do some more questing, but first on my way there, got myself a random event which can be 5 emeralds, which is great for Ironman. That's like 5 dual rings. And I decided to sell my reward from Waterfall Quest and Mithril Seeds. Pretty good money early on. It gives you like 2.7k or something. And it's just sold 5 per world just because the price goes down if you sell it to a general store, which kind of sucks. That's probably the benefit of having low alchemy, because that the price never goes down, obviously, and general stores do buy things at low alchemy price. There we go, about 2.7k, which is not too bad. So, next up, want to do some more quests. Merlin's Crystal is next, but on my way there, I saw a glass blowing pipe, so picked it up for the future. And there's Merlin's Crystal. I didn't want to do that, so I can do the Holy Grail quest. And that brought me to the Black Knight Titan, which is this guy here. And this almost broke me. I almost quit my Ironman right here. Look at this. Like I'm having nothing on it, and I had to do this for like at least 10 to 15 minutes, just constantly flinching it like this to hit zeros and zeros. I had like a max hit of 4 at the time. This was just a horrible idea. Well, actually, it wasn't, because it's worth it at the end. But Jesus Christ, this was so annoying to do. I finally did it. Got 38 coins. Didn't even want to pick it up because I was scared it was gonna kick me out. But yeah, I get a little salty in the chat here, but Jesus Christ, man. I mean, I remember doing that on the release of Old School, but I think I had, like, way better stuff. Like, I probably had a rune skim at the time, and, like, just way better stuff. But, like I said, it was worth it, because look at that experience, man. Prayer and defense, like, prayer especially, that's a lot harder to train on Ironman. And just to go from 1 to 28 like that is amazing. So, like, look at this. From 4 quests, I managed to get myself, like, 30 attack, 30 strength, 31 defense, and like 37 combat with some good prayer level as well. Like, that was really great. So my next goal, I think I wanted to start training Slayer, was it? Yeah, and I wanted to start training Slayer with range, and that required me to do a lot of things. So first of all, the Slayer Master that I wanted to use was the one in Canopus, and I had to do the Priest in Peril quest. So I had to get my Rune Mysteries quest done to mine some Rune Essence for that quest. And eventually I managed to mine myself 2 inventories, which is about 56 rune essence, and then I went and did the quest. Pretty good stuff there. So I went ahead and got my Slayer task. The next clip, I believe. Here it is. And my Slayer task was... Hobgoblins. Pretty good task, actually. It drops the lymphotic boots and stuff. Alright, so I now needed some ammunition to train my ranged, and I decided that I would set the goal of making myself 2,000 iron arrows to train with. So I started training my woodcutting to get the arrow shafts. I would basically just cut down normal trees, cut them into arrow shafts, and then repeat. And yeah, managed to get myself about 2.2k arrow shafts, which is pretty good. I managed to get 7 fletching, and I think that's 18 woodcutting. Not bad. Then headed back to the bank to put some of the arrows on. I killed some chickens during my live stream just to train my magic a little bit. Managed to get a couple, like 500 arrows there. Not bad. So I now have my headless arrows, but I need to make the arrow tips, and that requires me to do some mining. And I'm currently 4 mining. So the dig site quest, as you saw there, was my next goal. Gives me a pretty good amount of mining XP. So yeah, but first I have to get the requirements for that. I needed 10 herb lore, I believe. So Druidic Ritual gives me 3. Then I went to go do the Jungle Potion quest. That gets me to about 9. And after that, I decided to go just kill some men, I believe, in Edgeville. And that got me some herbs, and I was able to use those herbs to make myself a couple anti-poisons, and I got myself 10 herb lore. And also I got a few magic levels out of killing the men, which is great. yes, but first, to make the things, I had to get the secondaries as well. So, I was able to make anti-poisons out of my Marintils, which required unicorn horns. So I got 4 of those, and I had to grind the unicorn horns as well. So I went to this shop to buy a pestle and mortar, and I also saw you can buy Eye of Nukes here, so I figured, you know, while I'm here, I'll just get a couple. There we go, got 5 of them. And now I'm back at the bank, and I'm about to make myself a couple anti-poisons here, which is pretty good to have on an Iron Man. They're not too easy to get. Actually, they kind of are. There's a lot of shops that sell them, but there we go. Finally got myself 10 Herblore. So it was time to finally do the dig site quest, but first, got myself a maze random, which is awesome to do on a low-level Iron Man, because they usually have pretty good rewards. And my reward was 32 death runes and some iron arrows, which definitely helps out my range training a bit, and the death runes will be used in the future probably. So, 25 thieving I believe was a requirement for something, but after I got that, yeah, it was the dig site requirement, but after I got that, I now had all the requirements. But I did need an uncut opal for this quest, which was kind of unfortunate, because I didn't know how to get one of those, but I remembered you can actually get them from the ham members, so off to pickpocketing I went. Pickpocketing didn't go so well, though, because I got a jade. I was pretty salty there, and also they kept kicking me out of the bank. So I decided to go get the runes out and start killing the guards, and like literally the first one, I get an opal, so you know, definitely the way to go there. And it was now time to do the dig site quest finally. So here it is, about to hand everything in. Kind of a long quest, a lot of walking and stuff, but it's definitely worth it, because look at this. I'm at 4 mining right now, about to complete the quest. 15,000 mining XP and 31 mining from 4, which is incredible. So now I need the smithing level to be able to smith the arrows, which is around, I don't know, like 26 or something. Probably a little bit less than that. But I needed, so what I decided to do for that actually was the Knight's Sword. Gets you like 1 to 29 smithing, which is pretty cool. But for that quest, as you know, you need a red berry pie, and as an Iron Man, I have to make that myself and cook it. So decided it was time to train some fishing. Obviously, I will be needing better food than cakes in the future, so fishing is probably the best way to get that food. So, yeah, I think I got myself 40 fishing, I believe, but I ran out of feathers there, so I had to go get some more feathers first. And I finally got myself 40 fishing after I killed these chickens. I got like 200 feathers or something. There we go, 40 fishing, and I can now fish lobsters, which I did not actually do yet. But look at my first inventory of cooking here. Look at how many shrimps I burned, man. That's really unfortunate. But yeah, so I decided to cook all the fish that I fished up from the little 1 to 40 fishing journey there, and it got me a pretty good cooking level. I think I got to like 38 or something from all those fish, which was pretty good. And I had a lot of food in the bank then, so I didn't have to worry about food for a while. I mean, obviously cakes are better than anything that I cooked besides lobsters. But, you know, it's still nice to have, like these sardines. I'll probably never use these. But, you know, now I look at a ton of trouts and salmons, which are great, because they do heal more, like, like, they're good for, like, burst healing, I guess. Because, like, you know, cakes you have to eat in, like, 3, and salmon I can eat 9 if I ever need to heal a lot of HP really fast. So it could be useful. I doubt I'll ever use them, though. So then I went to the wilderness, and decided to get myself some money. Great money-making method for low levels, even Iron Man or not, is getting the steel plate bodies out there. You can sell them to Horvik or the GE if you're not an Iron Man for some great money. I also got some Earth Staffs because the steel plate bodies weren't there in every world. And yeah, sold them all to Horvik, got myself 12k, which is pretty good. And with that 12k, I bought myself some ranging supplies, some ranging armor there, and some runes. So now it's time to do that quest that I was talking about. Made the red berry pie, and I cooked it on the first attempt, which was great. Probably because my cooking level was a lot higher than 10, but, you know, I could have burned it still, probably. So I wanted to get myself another sword, but I forgot that I needed two iron bars for it, so I only had 2. Pretty unfortunate, but there we go. Really overpowered quest there. So easy to do, and it gives you 1 to 29 instantly with no requirements. Awesome. So it was time to make the iron arrow tips finally, but first I need the iron ore. So I went and did a bunch of mining, managed to get myself about 38 mining and about 400 iron ores. So I smithed them into bars and ended up with about 211 bars. So I did pretty well there. I didn't get too unlucky. And look at that, 67k on an Iron Man. What if I can just sell those to the GE? That'd be so nice. But anyway, it was time to start smithing the arrow tips, so here they are. And I'm done. There we go. Instantly. So there's like 2,000 arrow tips. So I didn't want any more than 2,000 arrows, so I decided to stop there. And just make the rest of the bars I had into plate bodies for a little bit of extra money. I can sell them to Horvik. And here we go, finally making the arrows. So I decided to put the remaining feathers I had into make them into headless arrows. And then I put the arrow tips on. But first, I realized, after I make this last little batch of headless arrows here, I didn't realize that I needed 15 fletching to make iron arrows. So back to the tree as I went. Got myself 15 fletching rather quickly, and finally made all of those stupid arrows. Well, not all of them, because I still didn't have enough feathers. So it's back to the chickens I go, I guess. This time, though, I have some arrows to train range with. But before I wanted to train range, I actually decided to go do the imp catcher quest, because it gives you an amulet of accuracy, which is a pretty decent enough amulet for early on. So yeah, the imp catcher quest. Pretty annoying quest to do on an Iron Man, because you can't just buy the beads like everybody does. You have to actually go farm them yourself, which kind of sucks. But I think I got pretty lucky on this, so I'm not going to complain. Karamja Volcano actually has a really great amount of imps added, so I'm just kind of here slaying them with Fire Strike. It makes it go by pretty quickly. And as you can see here, I got 2 black beads within 3 drops, and then after that I got a yellow bead within 2 drops. So I was just going a little nuts there. There we go. I have 3 beads there, and I believe I got the 4th one pretty easily. Got another yellow bead though, as you saw there, and there's the red bead. All right, so time to go ahead and do the imp catcher quest. Watch this stupid cutscene here, and yeah. And there it is. Completed my quest. Got the Amulet of Accuracy, which is pretty good for early on. I think it'll be a while until I get a different amulet probably. But yeah, it was now time to train range. So first, since I didn't have my 2,000 arrows, I decided to kill chickens to get some feathers. As you can see, I'm killing the chickens. Got about 1,000 feathers, which I figured it was good enough. So I made them all into headless arrows, and then obviously made them all into iron arrows. And I then went to go kill cows. And the reason I killed cows with my iron arrows is because they drop cow hides, which is pretty good. They're relatively easy targets. They don't do a whole lot of damage to me. And I can use the cow hides for crafting, so I figured it would be a win-win. I can get myself some better ranging gear. So there we go, got to 28 range, which is pretty good. I can now use the bone crossbow, but first I had to do the Lost Tribe quest. But there we go, tanned all those leathers with the money I had, went and bought myself some crafting supplies, and went and trained my crafting. I believe I got it to 20 something, maybe a little less than that. I don't really remember exactly what I got it to. But here we go, went and tanned some others, crafted it, and I believe it's 23, so that's pretty good. Pretty good crafting level to have. And I believe now it's time for me to do the Lost Tribe quests. So what do I have to do for that? Let's see, there's all the leather things I got, by the way. Pretty great. So I needed 13 agility for the Lost Tribe. I just went and quickly knocked it out at Draenor, and did the quest fairly easily, and watched this rather interesting cutscene at the end. Pretty easy quest to do, and got myself some nice rewards from it too. I got that Ring of Life, which is pretty nice to have. I don't know if I'll ever be needing that, but you know, because I never die in this game. Kappa. Anyway. I went to go buy myself the bone crossbow now, which is so good for training. Like, honestly, you can use that thing until 61 when you get the rune crossbow. It's really good. You can probably use it after that, too. Bought myself about 1,000 bolts just for training, because I had the money. And now it was off to do the Slayer, finally. So if you don't remember, my first task was indeed a Hobgoblin's task. And take a look at my gear, man. Like, that's good enough for, like a main account standard, you know? I mean, I can't really get the coif quite yet, but you know, that's not bad. So to get a little head start on Slayer, I did the little museum here, as you can see. Get 9 Hunter, 9 Slayer really easily, and back to the Hobgoblins I went. And Hobgoblins are a pretty good task, actually. As you can see here, I got tons of herbs and secondaries. Really great task to do for Iron Man. Got 14 Slayer from it as well. And my last task for this episode was actually a cave bug task. Now, for some reason, I thought this would be a really hard task. I get poisoned and stuff, but they die in one hit, so it was fairly easy. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of this episode for now. Thanks for watching, and before I go, I want to talk about this little Iron Man series here. So currently, I don't really plan on continuing the Iron Man series in the near future at least. I had a lot of fun playing on this account at the start, but I realized it was more of a spur of a moment thing than when I started playing on it initially. And also I kind of got peer pressured into playing it. I don't think I was really ready to play it yet, but you know, it was still fun for a little bit. But yeah, I don't plan on continuing playing this for now. I will probably come back to it in the future, but for now this series is postponed, I guess you can say. But yeah, Thanks for watching, and goodbye.